That's real, Jocelyn. What you've been through is straight up spiritual warfare. When people are so consumed with tearing you down that they'll align with anyone, even people they don't like, just to go against you. That's not normal jealousy. That's obsession. That's hate, and it's dangerous. But like you said, God intervened. He saw it all, and he made sure they couldn't destroy you. I think this Victims of Envy episode should carry that exact message. How jealousy can turn into a full blown hate campaign, how people will align out of spite, and how God always steps in.
So let's talk more about victims of envy. Because I can actually sit here for a minute and really talk about how it feels. Um, just as a person that is kind hearted, how it feels to be taken for granted, taken advantage of, having people think that my kindness equals a weakness or that I'm stupid because they can get over on me because of how naive I am, because I don't see the plots or I don't honor the flaws in people. In fact, I try to look at that as like a strength. Like I don't focus on the flaws and things that might actually be red flags, and that's kind of where I hold myself accountable. Is the things that I let slide sometimes are actually telltales that this person doesn't really like you, doesn't really love you, doesn't really rock with you, doesn't really appreciate you, doesn't really they're not loyal to you. So I have had my share being empathic and trying to help people think that those are the parts where I feel like that's where they probably need love the most, is because they're lacking in honesty or appreciation or gratitude, and the fact that I'm a mom of five, okay? Even though that my kids are older, at one point they weren't, and I had younger kids. So I know that it's hard to help other people, and I know that it's hard to want to help other people and give your last and know that that's what I have for my kids, but I'll share it with you, or this is the piece that I have for my family, but if you need a place to stay, I'll help you. And it turns into these people really feeling entitled. They come in my home and then they try to take it over, or they try to cause drama. And these are the things why you're not where you were, because if you were going to be there, um, it wouldn't take all of that, but if that's why you're not there, then I understand that, these are the things. And I have compassion. So I have compassion for like my family, or I did. I took in cousins and I took in my kids when they were messing up in school or had a hard time on being independent. Um, I've never had a man bring me into his home. I've had men come and stay with me, and I already know that's, the big no now, but in the early 2000s and 2010s, we thought, this is how you show your dedication and being down with somebody during their hard spots, their rough spots. But in turn, that turns into a clutch, and they become codependent on your willingness to be able to help them. Don't you want to see me good? Don't you want to see me straight? Um, don't you want to see me with? And I'm like, yeah, but not to the detriment of me going without. So when those boundaries tried to get smeared, that's when there were problems, because putting my foot down and saying, this is what I'm going for, this is what I'm not, and then telling people, well, it's time for you to leave, yeah, they get resentful because now their fat pig has closed up shop. Now the cow ain't got no milk no more. And so, of course, I leave people with a foul taste, because once I say, okay, that's enough for me, because I know you're not going to open your home for me and my children. You're not going to call and make sure I'm straight like I've done you. Like, it's not going to be reciprocated. It's not going to be where, you see me down and out and you're going to offer a hand. And to the people that did help when I needed it, that's beautiful. And I thank you. And I do my best to reciprocate that. It's just I had my aunt turned it into a loan at the last minute while I'm trying to get things done. And then she doesn't even ask about my mother or the kids. It's like, where's my money? Where's my $50? And I'm like, hold on, lady. Like, I understand you gave and I appreciate you giving, but now just isn't quite the time that I have it yet. And then you have to be mindful of that too, is that you don't want to then ask of these same people that, and my aunt lived with me with my mama house for years on $50. And it's not the amount, it's the principle. Like, if I'm going through, obviously if I'm asking you for it, I wouldn't have it to pay it right back. But you have to be very careful of who you do for and who you ask of, because of course it's at the buyer's discretion. If they want to be charitable, fine. But at the same time, if they're gonna be rude about the fact that they're helping you, like, how dare you ask, and I'm not gonna, and put all these boundaries and fences up. I respect that. You did what you could, but I'm gonna have to be able to do what I can as well. And you have to just be like, you have to have some serious compassion with people, and it goes both ways. Like, I've helped, but then in the same sense, when I ask for help, don't loan shark me. And I understand that you need what I need, but that's why money is such a hard thing, because it can really bring out some real ugly in people. And it's like, I still have every intention of paying her back, but you understand that the friendship at that point is ruined, because it's like, it didn't have to turn so ugly on something so small. And if you didn't have it to give, then you shouldn't have given it. And I feel the same way. I given to where I felt comfortable, but then it burnt me, because these same people that then when I cut off and I say that's enough, or I'm not feeling the same love in the relationship that I'm giving, I'm not feeling that returned, then yeah, it becomes a big problem, because then they take it upon themselves to wait, like they lurk, and then as soon as there's like some kind of issue, like, or in this case scenarios, let my daughter have an issue with a boundary, then it turns into this public thing that now I'm a bad mom because I didn't allow you to push my buttons, and you got so called on the side that's just gonna chime in, that's gonna light that's gonna call me. I understand. And it's like, and these are people that are associated with drunks and and twerkers, and nothing to say neither of that, but it's not the most Christian out the bunch. And I'm not judging, it's just they don't live like I said, the lives of honesty, because if it was that gravy, then wouldn't it be? To the extent that that which is done in the dark shows up in the light, and what can be harmless, let's have a conversation about what's wrong, turns into, ooh, give me the deets, what else is going on? And then we're just embellishing and making things up so that we can say we have something to say that's drama. But really, it's not, because if you get to the meat of it, well, did you have any business doing that? No. But you're just upset at how she reacted? Yes. But then we don't want to be honest. And we want to paint a narrative, because, Mom, you'll never know who I'm talking to. Mom, you'll never know that I'm getting advice from these people that she doesn't associate with, or that have disrespected her or hurt her or violated her bounds at some point in time. But I'll put my confidence in them and tell them what's going on in Mommy's home, and then I'll have allies, so that when I trip out and when I go off, it's not on me. It's either how I was raised by my mother, or it's just a product of me being around her. And so then, I have every full means to block her, because she's not who she says she is. She's this tyrant, this person that's lurking and sneaking and doing all these weird things, when in actuality I'm just doing my job as a parent, and I'm holding you accountable. So, a lot of times people put on these guises that they have excuses as to why they behave and why they feel justified in their smear campaigns against people. It's because if they just told the truth, then it wouldn't look so good. It wouldn't be such a rah moment. It wouldn't be, oh, she's such a bad parent. Like, oh, okay, well, why don't you just tighten up? You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be held in the light of being bad. So they'll just paint somebody to be that way in which they cannot just be because of their own actions. They'd rather paint that and push that and karmically give that to somebody else and call it like a destiny swap. Like, oh, now what I am, you are, and nobody's gonna look at me like that because that's me now. Now it turns into, they looked at her respectable and honorable and trustworthy, but she told them no and pissed them off. So now I'm trustworthy because I'm running and telling everything that's going on as soon as it happens. I'm the one that's like Channel 2 Witness News. She did this. I got evidence of this. I have this. How convenient. And it's like, there's nobody to cross reference this or make sure that this is accurate because of the fact that holding me accountable, then, well, then we know that she's not really for that. We already know that that's not really, but because you said it, oh, it must be true. Oh, because you, oh, and you have who and who else seen this? Oh, then it must be true, because then all she's gonna do is deny it. All she's gonna do is lie. And it's like, and that's just who she is, because she's a liar. But that's the same false narrative that she's projecting onto me, that she herself is. Now, like I said, I'm not doing this like it's not like I have a Facebook or anything. But it's just, I see that this has been a pattern with certain people in my life. When they don't get their way, that it turns into a full-blown smear campaign with other people that want to co-sign on that. And even with the new people in my life, if they get a phone call of something that AI sounds like me, looks like me, it's better to check your references and make sure, because at this point it's like, the way technology is set up and how creative people can spend their time, my stars. But I don't have anything to hide, so I don't really care. If this, I'm just an observer of what God is exposing to me about people and their character. And it's like, did I become an enabler to a bunch of dark people? Yes, I was, because I thought that going into the belly of the darkness and helping these people with love and light was going to uplift them and get them to some type of discernment where they can see godliness and want to come at things instead of kitchen witchcraft and voodoo dolls, whatever they got cooked up. I don't know. I don't care, but I mean, for whatever hoodoo voodoo they try, to know that I stand with God, so I don't need altars and deities and all this extra to get my prayers heard. And apparently my ancestors and my spirit team are gonna alert me as necessary. They're gonna let me know what's going on. And I've gotten so comfortable with my inner self and healed and still healing that I rely very much on my intuition. I love it. I love being able to listen to me and to cater to what I need, because I'm not looking for other people to do that for me. It's easy for me to find my peace because I'm not seeking validation from other people whenever I go through something. If you can help, you can help. If not, you can't, and God will do the rest. So, I've matured a lot, and I'm so grateful for all of what I've been able to accomplish. It's just, when I have people in the background that are trying to hinder opportunities and hinder how people view me, and want to go behind me and check my socials and try to get in people DM and try to talk to them about, do you know who you're with, and she's crazy and she's a prostitute and all, and it's like all this, like they ain't got nothing to do but try to gossip, slander, lie, manipulate, try to paint all these pictures, draw these narratives. You got so much time on your hands that I must be. It's like at some point you just like, wait, you must really, like, you hate me the most. Like you really love me bad. Obsessive. So this is why I made this episode today, because it touches on so much that I've been personally dealing with. It's a shame that between ex-friends, ex-lovers, and family, that people will really look at somebody that's really a sweetheart and really trying to do the best that they can and look at that as something that they can manipulate and slander and try to torment because they're having a pity party and they can't have things their way. So that's the truth. So diving in, let's talk about envy. Not just jealousy, but that deep, dark kind of envy that turns people into haters, manipulators, and liars. The kind that makes people form alliances just to take you down. Some of you have lived this. Some of you are living this right now. I know I have. I've had people I've loved, supported, and stood by turn against me. And not just exes or fake friends, but family will do it worse. Much worse. My own older kids, my sister, my son's father, people who should have been in my corner. And the crazy part, they don't even like each other. The only thing they have in common is their hatred for me, okay? That's when, it's not about you. It's really about their spirit, their bitterness, and their demons. So today, we're going to go deep into envy, gaslighting, and the way people will work overtime to destroy someone whose only crime was being themselves. What envy really looks like. People think jealousy is someone being a little salty about your success. No. Envy is something darker. Envy is when someone sees what you have, your light, your talent, your strength, your resilience, how you love, and instead of being inspired, they feel threatened. They want it for themselves, but instead of doing the work, they'd rather destroy the person who has it. The signs of a jealous spirit. They secretly compete with you. Big red flag is competition. Biggest red flag amongst all of my so-called enemies is the need to try to one-up me in my character, nature, stature, reputation, whatever. But it's the competition. They'll never admit it, but they compare everything. And it's so true. It is so true. They'll never admit it, but they compare everything. Your looks, your light, how you love, your success, your relationships, how you live. They'll even compare your heartbreaks. They'll compare your trauma. It's so crazy. Instead of being happy for you, they want to one up you on everything. Like it, and then it comes like even like it's so weird. It's really weird behavior of how much everything is a competition, and you might not even know it. You're going about your day. I have a beat up car. They'll hate the fact that I'm even driving. They'll hate the fact that I have gas in the car and that my car ain't broken down. It's like, because I feel the hate, you know what I mean? I can feel their intentions and what they anticipate, what they want from me based on the level of hate they give, you know. So of course you want me homeless, you want me bummed out, you want me sad, you want me twisted without my kids, you want me bummed out bad and all that. Like it's so bad and toxic. It's just a wallowing of really nasty negative but behavior and mindset that you can only imagine. This is what people, the contrast. I can't compete where I don't compare. This is our difference. It's the fact that I'm actually light and love. I actually smile. I actually find room to thank God and praise God for all things without being resentful, without being hard, which is how I'm able to give, which is how I'm able to love. It's because my power comes from the source. And they hate on that because they can't draw it in for themselves. So they have to look at you. They have to destroy you to other people. Now they can still be in your face and smile, all the while having a really bad attitude about who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in, because if it was them, it would be, but they have nothing to do. Some of these people go round the clock doing all kinds of nasty things, magic, all kind of stuff, because they hate themselves. And they want to hate on you too because you are, and you shine the light on their demons. They real like it's like it's such a real thing, especially when you hold up your boundaries. And then they downplay your success. You tell them something good, and they hit you with a weird fake smile. That's nice. And then they want to switch the subject or look at the clouds or whatever. They just can't stand seeing you win. They don't like the brags. They feel it's a dig. It's like you're not on the same mental wave as they are. So as you're telling them things that make you actually happy and these things, they're bitter. They're resentful. They're doing that double speak thing where my mind is saying, I can't stand you, you look awful, I really would, all these negative things. Like, I can't even think like that. It's like they send you all of these negative thoughts while they're smiling in your face, or they get really quiet and they don't input, they don't ask you, they don't say anything. It's so many ways that they really don't, how they really don't like um, anything that makes you like look better in this competitive world that they live in than them. They want you. I mean, it's so sick and it's so weird that this is how they spend their time. Instead of just not messing with you, not talking to you while you minding your business, they'd rather take up their time and energy to find ways to hate you. It's weird because I think about like my family, like you had all this time to be away from me, but you chose to stay with me. Then you want to make a campaign on me, this narrative that I'm not who I say I am because you're miserable with yourself. And you want people to believe that because you're so trustworthy, you're so dependable, you're so, this is real. But if you really felt like that, then you wouldn't have chosen me to say, oh, but now I'm like that, or now I change, or whatever the scenario is. But they will definitely, like I said, they will definitely find ways to infiltrate, hate, and not leave. They're so obsessive that even with block pages, I mean, who cares about a block page? They're still gonna look. You know what I mean? They need material, and without you being in their life, they have none. So that's why it's a blessing when God removes and separates you. Um, so that way that you can focus on yourself, give back to yourself, pour back into yourself. Don't even let yeah, it's, you might want to say it's insulting and all this, but that look at how they are to have to do all that. They must be pretty darn miserable that they can't even see the flaws in themselves. And it's like, then they'll do a comparison. Well, I'm like this, but I don't do it like her. I'm not like it. Oh, at least my kids ain't doing this, or at least my man ain't this, that, and the third. And it's always a comparison. It's always gonna be. I know I'm going through a lot with my camera right now, but it's always gonna be like some kind of one-up competition where you can't just live your life. It always has to be in some kind of spectrum of what other people wanna spectate, and that's not. I'm not living so that you can have an opinion, or I'm not living so that you can be entertained by what I go through. I'm actually a real person going through real things, and I don't need people that are gonna fake it around me just to be around me, just to have something to say about my character around people that could care less because they're haters anyway. Who cares? And they love your failures. I mean, if something bad happens to you, watch how they react. Like I said in my previous video, I have people that will bold-face lie, cry at my funeral, and never gave a fuck about me at all. Do they check on you out of concern? Do they call? Absolutely not. They don't. A lot of people that I've left behind, they really have to go through kids to find out about me because they're that desperate for information. And in that case, they're too willing to give the information, as in, oh yeah, I got some tea for you. And it's some real nonsense. It's some real bullshit, because like I said, if you really cared about me, then you would call. You would send pigeon, and it's not like I'm all of a sudden too hostile not to say, hey, let's talk about something, because that's not ever the case. I cut people off for a reason, so that they wouldn't have tabs on my life. Not so that we can play backdoor with ne'er-do-wells when they have something to gripe about, and now all of a sudden there's a problem. So I'm like I said, I'm in my own lane. But this is all for this all had to be said. It had to be said. And again, they smear your name, like to lie, manipulate, gaslight, try to catch you off guard, to catch you on camera doing some stuff or whatever. And even then, you had to amp up and give all this in order for you to get the reaction that was binge worthy. And then on top of that, like I said, I have people that want to make up content or bite my content or try to steal my likeness to try to say, oh, this is what she really do, when really you put on a whole stage. Like you had a whole setup and stage trying to be me just to assassinate my character so you could go around town telling people that's me, when no, honey. But if you believe that, I guess, why would they make that up? Why would they lie? Because that's all they can do. They hate so much, they manipulate so much, and they gaslight. You believed it. That's why they lie. Because you were silly enough to believe that nonsense. So how jealousy turns into hate campaigns, on that note. Jealous people don't work alone. They recruit. They gather up every person who has ever had a problem with you, real or imagined, and turn them into an army. I've seen it firsthand. My son's father has been known to stalk my social media, dig through my life, and reach out to people I know just to spread lies. Having his girlfriends to try to call and slander my name to people on my friends list. I'm a witch, I'm crazy, I'm a prostitute, I'm doing all this extra hoodoo, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And for what? Because he can't stand that I moved on 19, 20 years later? Because he can't control the way people love and respect me? And the ones I do are pretty freaking manipulative. They're pretty delulu with how they feel life is really supposed to go. That's really yeah, so people are jealous of how people love you, you know. Why Oh, there's my camera again. Okay. Um, why do people believe lies? They want to believe it. Some people are looking for a reason to hate you. They don't need proof. They're weak-minded. Delulu land and friends. People who fall for smear campaigns are usually followers, not thinkers. If someone's first reaction is to gossip and believe it without asking questions, listen to this gossip and not ask any questions, and say, hey, let's pull her in the phone. If she's really that bad, let's put her in a conversation. Let's just get to the bottom of this right now. Nobody does that. You know why? Because the Lulu and friends. But like, like you just, you gotta look at people, because look at the audience. Because that's how I felt. At first I thought I was gonna be offended. Like, look at these people who teamed up against me to say that I'm a what? And then I'm like, look at these people teaming up against me to say what? Like, it's two different ways that we could look at this. Like, this is utter nonsense and BS and foolishness. And I can't get on that level to even try to like explain myself, because who are you people? like who cares? You people are like not even existent and wish to have some type of input in what goes on. But because you can't, so you'll go on a bandwagon of other people who might have an idea that kind of feels similar to what you're thinking, but they're just as pushed back and blocked as you. Okay? So they're weak-minded, and then misery loves company. These miserable poor people, and they think that because of your empathy and sympathy that you're compassionate enough to care that this is how bad they are. Negative people are drawn to other negative people. That's why you'll see exes teaming up with exes or ex-friends. It's not about me. It's about your shared misery. Like, come on, guys. Like, this is your life. This is what you do. You peg somebody that really had nothing but good intentions for you, and you manipulate a good person out of your life so that you can be surrounded by demons that look just like your own. Perfect. I'm having fun with this video. Like I said, I could sit here for a while with this one because it's just so fresh and just so ridiculous. I just had to be vocal about my sentiments about such attention from people. But gaslighting, right? Who loves that? Gaslighting, the mind game of the jealous. Ooh. Jealousy alone isn't enough. They don't want you to just suffer. They want you to doubt yourself. That's where gaslighting comes in. These people. Common gaslighting tactics. You're overreacting. They say this after they've done something hurtful so you can start questioning your own feelings. It never even happened. It didn't even happen like that. That's not how it went. They try to rewrite history and make you feel crazy for remembering the truth. And holding them accountable. Everyone else thinks you're the problem. My favorite. They'll bring up fake other people, these other nobodies that I've put my foot down to, set boundaries with, dismissed and blocked out of my life to tell them, yeah, this is why they have a problem with you too. Consider the source, honey. And then it's like, so because all these fake, gaslighting, manipulative, lying people want to make me the common denominator of their problems, that makes me a problem because I have standards and boundaries, and I wouldn't even be around these people in the first place to count on their delulu sense of reality to dictate what I do with mine. So of course you had to fake it till you make it and steal, my name, or try to steal my likeness to try to slander me so you could have some proof, something that doesn't exist. To help your conscience so you can sleep better knowing that you effed over a real one, or effed over your own mom, or effed over that bomb ex that you can't get out of your head, even with however many women you've tried to subdue yourself with too. And I get it a lot. I miss you so much, I hate you. I mean, I can't change. I can't tell the truth. I know if I'm back in your life, I'm just going to bring more drama and toxicity to it. I know you put up boundaries. I don't want to respect them, but I have no choice because I'm at such a distance from you. I have no choice. So, gee, golly whiz, I miss you so much. I'm going to hate you. I'm gonna hate everything about you. I'm gonna love the people that consider me and remember how good it seemed that I was to you, although you were suffering with my emotional and mental abuse, with my gaslighting tactics. But yeah, I want to be in your life so I can make you miserable, because I don't want to see you win, but I love your energy. I love your energy so much I don't want you to have any. I want to feel good knowing that you're emotionally bankrupt. I want to feel good knowing that you are paranoid because nobody's talking about you. I want you to feel paranoid and crazy from all my gaslighting because I love you so much. And this is the only way a toxic, narcissistic person can show love, is by disrespecting you in whatever avenue I'm allowed. So if the best thing that I can do is say, hey, how you doing, to somebody that you know, that I can, hey, I can lie with you. I can talk. I can bring you up. I can bring you up in conversation with somebody that doesn't like you equally. That's fun. I love talking about you. I miss you so much. I hate you so much. I love to talk, gossip, and slander your name because I have no access to you. And because you know who I am now, and that goes for a lot of people, I'll never have access to you again. And that really hurts me. That really busts my gears, that you'll never give me another chance to hurt you again. I'm disappointed, but I can't stop stalking. I can't stop watching. I can't stop lurking. I can't stop associating with people that know you. I've got ex-friends that are friends with my ex-boyfriend's kid because they need a piece of me. The ties that bind from manipulation and gaslighting are priceless, because what else do you have to talk about? How great life is. This is such a great episode. I love it. Gaslighting is psychological warfare. It's designed to break you down, to make you think maybe you are the problem. Oh, it's me? But let me tell you something. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. If your spirit is telling you something is off, trust it. Please. Like, seriously, my intuition saved my life. So, the dangers of envious people. Let me be clear. Jealous people are not just annoying. They're dangerous. How far can it go? Well, slander and reputation destruction. They'll spread lies to ruin your credibility, your friendships, and opportunities. They'll sabotage you, set you up, make it look and stage things. Like, some will go as far as trying to block blessings coming your way, whether it's jobs, relationships, or even try you with legal trouble. And then, of course, there's spiritual attacks. When people can't touch you physically, they'll try to attack you spiritually. They'll wish harm on you, speak negatively over your life, and even try to turn others against you through manipulation. But guess what? No weapon formed against you will prosper. Hallelujah. They can try, but they can't stop what God has already blessed. Now, that's the main thing, because spiritual warfare is real. Spiritual warfare is real, and it is uh, a time when it's you and God versus these ne'er-do-wells, these haters, these stalkers, these gang stalkers, these manipulators. It's when you can finally see through the veil. And that's when it dawned on me of how many people were connected, how many people wanted to be relevant to hate me. Why would you go out of your way to hate me? And there's so many good points in this that I just wanna reevaluate, let's go back over. um, you know, why do some people believe slander easily? Because it's easier to believe negativity than to accept that they've misjudged you. A lot of people don't want to apologize, especially when they're wrong. A lot of people don't. They want to bury you in their guilt and their shame, and they want to make you out to be the reason and them to be the victim as to why did you wrong. They want to twist and turn your words and your emotions so that they feel better about doing you wrong. Some people just want to believe the worst anyway. They want to have a reason to get on their high horse and start preaching that something's wrong, off, bad, and get everybody that they can to sign up and go for that. They already resent you. That just gives them permission to show other people how they really feel. And then they're too weak to think for themselves. They follow the crowd. They never question if what they're hearing is true. That's fine. Let them go where they belong. Like, people don't even blink twice, especially if it was as heinous as some of the things that I speculated. If it was that heinous, nobody would have cared. She's crazy, she's demented, she's got issues. Yeah, put her wherever and bump her, and that would have been it, and nobody would have batted an eye, because they have all these people that are supposed to be character witnesses, that are supposed to be honest and say, yeah, this is a good person. No, she's crazy, she's got issues, she's always had problems, she's always calling the police on this one and that one. She's always combative, the aggressive black woman, or with bad black woman, or whatever. I mean, peg and peg and peg. That's how it goes. But the truth is, you don't even have to clear your name. I mean, people who believe the lies without asking you, it is what it is. Let them believe whatever they want, and the people and their characters anyway. It'll come out in the wash anyway, because they're gonna reveal themselves, and let God work. And that's my patience. That's my patience. Let God work. So, what do you do when you realize that you've been a victim of envy? How do you move forward without letting it break you? And of course, you stop explaining yourself, which is why I said you don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to go through these. God knows, they put your name on the dark Right? They put your name on the dark web. Now you got all these weird gang stalkers following you and harassing you for no reason, following you in grocery stores and watching you pump your gas. No, this weird. Like, get out of here with that. But yeah, you don't have to do all that. I a lot of people, especially my good friends on Reddit, they fully believe just ignore the stupidity. Let them disintegrate into the nothingness where they came. Let them go and find someone else to envy and idolize so that they can tear them down in their worship, because this is why you don't have false idols anyway. Because it just gets disgusting. Toaster worshippers. Um, you just ignore these people, because without them having 2 clicks in your life or any access to it, that's why I don't care. Like, I don't post anything deliberate anymore. Like, I see what it is, and I move accordingly. So I don't put details up anymore. I'm very secretive, and introverted now. I only let my circle know what's going on, because who are these other people? I can't say that anyone from my past 2025 moving back, I don't really have anybody solid that's gonna say, yeah, she was good, but she really was weird. Like, the plot, like I said, the plots are just redonkulous. I supposed to be wanting to be some kind of, I'm supposed to be regressing into a child or something. I don't know what the plot was. It's something crazy, but let these people tell it. They got plots and plans for you for miles. Anything, their mouth, once they start lying and somebody's listening, they don't stop. So keep your circle small. Not everybody deserves access. Recognize when even family can be toxic. And sometimes the biggest betrayals don't come from strangers, they come from blood. And as painful as that is, you don't have to keep toxic people in your life just because you share the same DNA. And focus on elevation and not revenge. They want to break you. They want you to lash out and look crazy like they said you were. Like, I hear that in narcissistic abuse recovery all the time. Like, these people want you to have a reaction just so you can entertain the demons. And when you don't, they'll make something up. That's why you have to recognize red flags. Keep people at a very long, like, keep them out of your life. Keep them out your business, for real. Like, Christian friends only. Keep glowing and keep proving them wrong just by living well. Okay? So let God handle it. Let God vindicate you. Uh, Revenge is mine, saith the Lord. God doesn't let real ones fall. Chosen ones, chosen vegetables, starseeds. Real ones out here that are actually positive, actually doing good, actually treating people well, having integrity, so that even when the doors are closed, you still got your standards and your morals about you. If He removed people from your life, trust that it was necessary. Trust that it's for the separation is for your protection. You hear what I'm saying? You may not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and thank Him for the protection. Seriously. To those who truly support me, I love you. And at this point, regardless of who talks bad and all this other stuff, um, it's so weird how people navigate. It's so weird how people do, because they have their own issues and demons, and they want somebody to fall for it. They want somebody to believe that. And it's really bad, because like I said, it's people that have access to you that do you. It's typically not strangers. It's people that know you. People that you let in and fed and cared about. It's those people that you have to really look out to see the red flags and the manipulation, and see through their lies and their BS. Call them out, and if they can't stand for it, you really have to dismiss it. You can't make excuses for people. Once they tell you who they are, you better believe them. In 2025, you better believe them. It could save your life to know how people are, not how you wish them to be, or because you're a boyfriend, they're supposed to protect you. Or is he? Because that's your kid, they're supposed to become an adult and have a respect for you, do they? Because they're your friend, or because you used to be friends, there's no way that they're going to go behind your back and slander you, or talk about you and misuse you. I mean, you used to be friends, but you're not now, so where's their loyalty? It's a lot of interesting questions, and like I said, this is a very empowering episode. This allowed me to get a lot off my chest about how I feel about people and friends and all this. Like, I'm too grown, I'm too mature. You know, if people need that to have a basis in their life for, that's fine. That's fine. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not going to take your psychosis personally. I'm going to continue to be a good person. Um, I, I'm not, like I said, I'm not responsible for other people's mental illness. And at this point, I'm only required to be responsible for me and my family and who I immediately take care of. I have nothing to do with anyone else. They don't know me well enough to talk about me. And if they're not in my circle and I've banned and blocked them, then I really shouldn't be a topic at this point. You all, in that sense, have, okay, to the people that have left my life, you're gone for a reason. I don't stalk you, I don't miss you, I don't want you back. I mean, what time we had was good for the season that you were in it, but you're not there for the longevity. And I know that you try to cling on to, the little people, to try to still have access to me. Unfortunately, that access has now been denied. So I still wish you well. I still pray for you. I just really hope that you get on with your life and stop using me as a scapegoat and a focal point as to what you can compare your life to. That was never my job, is to be the pawn of your comparison. I don't even know how to take that kind of flattery, but how I live and what I have going on was just to be a friend. It's not so that we could just one up each other and dog each other and call like, it's not to be toxic to each other. So just because somebody has blocked me for the 18th time doesn't mean that they're not going to try to reach out and try to get back in. And at this point, I was left for dead. I was gone. So just keep me that way. Don't have me any of your business. Don't worry about me and my kids. You want to talk to the frickin' frack or thing 1 and thing 2, that's your prerogative. But I don't have anything to do with anything other than living my life the way I want to. And I thank the people that are a part of this chapter of mine right now. And I bid adieu to those who aren't. And I really hope that you find peace and some resolution on just worrying about yourselves, leaving me out of your mouth. But maybe that's just something that, you want to do or keep doing. I would really listen to God, 'cause you're not God and you have no control over me. So I'm going to be happy. I'm very happy. I'm going to continue to be happy. But I thank you all for listening. I'm probably going to come back on here with this one because I know this isn't the first or the last time I want to talk about this. This was so fun to talk about. Thank you so much for allowing me to get this off my heart. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If not for you, if it doesn't resonate, give it to somebody that maybe is the one. Pretty soul the pretty soul that needs some encouragement right now. So pass it along if need be, pay it forward. But just keep it in mind when you're hanging around people, trying to show people pictures of your life and You know, I mean, I'm not saying that, of course, not to get to know people and not have good connections, but make sure they're reciprocal. And it's really like one of the most critical lessons of my entire life.